Hello everyone, we're back here at the house. This is going to be a little bit different video than what I usually post, but since my bike stopped at the house on exactly 100 miles, I thought I'd go ahead and do a quick review on the Lectric XP after 100 miles of riding from a big guy. All right. I'm actually recording on my phone today. I had some questions about the equipment that I use whenever I'm on my bike. One of those pieces of equipment being my camera. So I thought I'd use my phone today. Hopefully the video will come out as good, and we'll see how it goes. So far, the Lectric XP has been great. The only thing that I've noticed is that I do need to adjust the brakes, at least on the front, probably both, but especially on the front. I noticed the other night, well, I've been doing a lot of my videos with the camera on a chest strap, and it seems to block out most of the bike squeaks and noises and things like that. And went out for a quick ride last night and put the video up on my handlebars, and boy, it picks up every little squeak and rub that the bike has for some reason. And I heard that whenever I was watching the video back at home. So it's time to adjust the brakes just a little bit. And see what's going on with those. They still work fine. It's just that they're starting to rub a little bit, at least on the front tire. The air has stayed in the tires, haven't had to add or take away. I've mentioned on a couple of my videos that I did change the seat to a Cloud 9 seat. The seat that comes with it is just really rough riding if you're heavy at all. The Cloud 9 seat, I've had no problems. I just completed a 15 mile ride and no problems at all. With the other seat, I could go 4 or 5 miles and I was ready to head back to the house and was sore for a day or two. I had a couple comments on my videos about having a mirror. So as you can see, I did put a end handlebar mirror on. It's pretty nice. Works really well. It just screws into the end of your handlebar. You've got to cut a spot away there, a little bit of the rubber, stick this in, tighten a bolt, and it's done. And this thing can adjust. You can bend it up, you can swivel it in and out however you need to swivel it. Whenever you go to put it away, you can bend it up in there so that the clearance is better. That way it won't hit anything. This lens is actually stainless steel instead of glass, so not too much danger in breaking that. You might scratch it, but it won't shatter on you. It's stainless steel. It's by Hafni. Those are the only two changes that I've made to the Lectric since I've had it. Everything else is good. Battery life is good, even with someone my size. It still gets full charge when I charge it. I still get a lot of miles out of it. The engine, or the motor, I guess electric motor in this case, it takes me up pretty much every steep hill that I need to get up. There have been a couple that I had to put my mechanical gears in first gear and stand on the pedals with a full throttle or pedal assist 5 to get up a hill, and barely made it. But that is very rare. We have some really steep hills around here. Most people aren't going to have to deal with that, so you know, the motor, 500-watt motor, has been great. Tire wear, they pretty much look like they did when I got it. And I've been riding mostly on pavement, paved trails, paved roads. You can maybe tell a small difference in my wife's over here. She's got this white step through. Her knobs look a little bigger than mine, but it could just be that hers are cleaner than mine. I was on a dirt road yesterday. They still have a lot of wear in them though. But again, haven't had to do too much. I'm going to do my 100-mile checkup, check my brakes, make sure all the nuts and bolts and everything are tight. Lights still work. I haven't had any problems, haven't had to call customer service or anything. So it's been great. Got a full charge now, ready to go. 100 miles. Gears still change just fine. When it first came, I did have to adjust the brakes just a little bit. I had to adjust the derailleur a little bit. The gears weren't changing perfectly, but I was able to get those dialed in myself. So since I adjusted that, they've been fine. I usually leave it in, I don't know, 5th, 6th gear pretty much all the time. I rarely change it unless I'm going up a really steep hill. And then I'll go into one of the lower gears, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. But I can't be happier. Maybe we'll do a review on the step through when it gets to 100, but she's got a few more miles to go. I've been out quite a few times without her. I did want to mention that again, I had somebody, ask me what equipment that I used. And besides the bike itself, again, we've got the Cloud9 seat I highly recommend. We've got this Hafni N-bar mirror, stainless steel mirror that I highly love highly, and I recommend it highly. And I thought, while I had you here, I think I might just show you how easy it is to put that mirror on. You do have to cut away a little bit of the rubber, but if I can set this up here, let's see, let me twist this around if I can. Hang on one second, let me get this thing set up so you can see real well, and I'll be right back at you. Okay guys, I'm back. So whenever you order them, they'll come like this. They have a little flange here in case your handlebar hole is too big. This one's not, so you can just slide that off, toss it to the side. The only tools you'll need is a 5mm wrench and some sort of utility knife. This is actually metric 5mm Allen wrench. We'll set those down for a minute. All you have to do, I'll try to make sure I'm out of the light if I can. Let's see. It's got a little hole in the end. You can kind of stick the knife in and get started. Just watch your other hand though. These things are pretty sharp. Just work your way around. And out the rubber goes. Clean it up just a little bit. Okay, once you get your hole cut out, this is the mirror. It comes with this little sleeve on it, just in case your handlebar opening is a little bit too big. That'll fill up the difference. This handlebar fits just right, so we don't need the sleeve. We'll just toss that aside for a minute. Now, you can install this with this part up, but then when you're done with your mirror, you'd end up folding it up onto the handlebar. I wanted it to fold under, so I fold it down, or do it on the down direction. All you have to do is slide that in, tighten it up. Again with your 5mm Allen wrench. Just tighten it up nice and snug. Well, I'll be doggone. Oh. These things do that sometimes. There we go, nice and tight. And then there's your mirror. Now this is a little bit loose, so there's an adjustment here you can tighten, and it makes it a lot tougher to move so that it'll hold it. But you can still twist it if you need to. You know, out, in, up, down, and then when you're finished with it, you can just slide it up under, and then you've got access to your handlebar to push it in wherever you need it to go. And then when you're ready to ride again, just slide it back out, and there you go. So that's how easy, maybe 2 minutes. So I'll be right back with you, and we'll wrap this whole thing up. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I had to come back inside. My neighbor, who lives right next door, was getting ready to get his motorcycle out and wash it, and I think he was going to do his truck, so he was going to have his vacuum out and create all kinds of noise. So we're back inside my house here at my little home office. Ever since the COVID virus came through, I've been working at home. So I've been working at home now for about a year and a couple months, and no immediate change in sight. So anyway, I thought I'd come back in here where it was a little more quiet so I could go over, you know, some of the things that I use for the bike and my videos, just to answer a few questions that I've had. The seat, it is, like I said, it's a Cloud9 seat. There are a lot of Cloud9 seats. I actually had a message from Pedro, and hopefully I'll answer that in this quick little part of this video. But there are a lot of Cloud9 seats, and I was pretty confused as well. I kind of went with a mid-grade. You know, they go anywhere from, I don't know, $20 or so up to 50 or something like that. So I kind of went mid-grade, and it works fine. I have no need for any of the 50 or higher price seats. What I'll do is some of the things that I use here, I'll put in below in the description of the video I just completed, and it's you know, we're actually at the end of it now, talking about my 100-mile review, but I'll put the links in this video so that you can click on them. It'll take you right to Amazon, to the very things that I bought. Just to let you know, I will get a small commission if you do click on the links and purchase. It doesn't raise the price for you at all or anything like that, but it does give us a little bit of commission off of those, which will help upgrade, which will help me upgrade my equipment, help pay for gas. I'd like to go out and do a lot more trails. We have tons of them in this state, and I live in the northern part of West Virginia, almost to the Pennsylvania border. So there's some up in Pennsylvania, Southwest Pennsylvania as well. So I'm gonna try to get out, load my bike up, and when my wife is strong enough, she'll join me as well. But you know, it takes a little bit of money to do, and it's kind of a hobby of mine, but you know, every little bit helps. But like I said, I'll put the links in the description so that I can take you, they'll take you right to what I have, and that I've tested and work for me. One of the things that I'm going to have that mirror that I used, if anybody needs mirrors for the handlebar. The mirror, the Hafni bar rearview mirror that I'm using is a stainless steel instead of glass. So it's a little safer, it won't break. And I'll put that in the description as well, link to it. I also had a couple questions about the cameras that I use. And I'm filming right now on my phone, as I may have said earlier, so that I can show my camera. I thought that I was going to use a GoPro of some sort. Started looking into them. They were a bit pricey. I've got a couple of the prices written down. The cheapest one I found was a GoPro 7, and it was about $250. A GoPro 8 was anywhere from $250 to $300, depending on if they were used, reconditioned or not. And now they actually have a GoPro 9, I think is the newest one. And it sells anywhere from $400 to $500, depending on who you buy it from and if it's used or not. So I started looking around, and I saw some reviews on the DJI Osmo Action. And this is it. It's going to look backwards because I'm using my phone, but it's Osmo Action by DJI. And as you can see, it has a back screen, just like they all do, with all of your information. And then if you tap twice on the back, it'll switch. It's also voice activated, switch screens. Let's see, cover up the microphone. Screen switch. And there you go, screen switch. And it goes back to the back. So you can have this mounted and just yell out something and it'll change. You can say, let me turn it off. You can say, take a picture, start a video while the power's on, and it'll do that. You can say, stop recording, it'll stop recording, voice activated. This thing is $200. It shoots in 4K. It's got stabilization. You've seen my videos. Besides me doing this from pedaling, you know, bouncing some of those rough sidewalks I'm on, this stabilization to me is as good as a GoPro, if not better. This front thing right here, the lens, I haven't done it yet. They say the first time is a little bit harder. There you go. But if it gets scratched, you can take this off and get a brand new lens instead of a whole new camera. You can also put you can get filters. So you can, if it's a very bright day, you can put a filter on there. It just has everything. Again, it shoots in 4K, 1080p. I mean, 720, it shoots in 2K, it's got slow motion, everything that a GoPro has, and it's small. I mean, look at it compared to my hand. Real tiny. This is also waterproof up to 36 feet, as is, without a case. It's just amazing. I could take this right now and drop it in a creek or put it in my bathtub and fill it up, no problem. It comes with a cage, and I leave it in the cage most times because that's how you attach it to things. It just slides right in, bam. That goes up, latches, there you go, and you're ready to hook on to the handlebars, to my chest thing. If you've got a helmet, it'll hook on, and voice activated. You don't have to take it off to do anything, or to start or stop. Great little camera. I love this thing. And again, it's $199 on Amazon. I'll put a link to this as well. I did get a large SD card. I got a 128 megabyte disk, micro disk, scan disk drive. 128 gigabyte, that'll do about 4 hours, give or take, with 1080p. And the reason I shoot in 1080p instead of 4K is because when you upload to YouTube, they knock it down to 1080p, at least for me. Maybe if I'm a big YouTube person, they'll let me do 4K, but 1080p. So it slows down my time to upload, especially with my slower computer. If I did 4K, it took about 6 hours to upload some of my first couple videos. My last couple, I've done 1080p, and it takes 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. So it's cut that almost in half. And you can't really tell a difference at all once it gets to YouTube. But you do have the option to shoot 2K and even 4K. If I shoot 4K, it loads onto my computer and it looks great. Uploads to YouTube, and whenever you start going fast through trees and a bunch of stuff, it starts to look a little bit grainy. That's just how all videos do on YouTube. If I'm on a street, it looks a lot better, but when I'm in around the trees, it's grainy, and it's not the camera. It does that for everything. I did get a 50-piece accessory kit to go with this, and it's got every connection, the mounts for helmets, for wrists, that chest deal that I use. For the handlebars, it's got one that's got this big yellow buoy that you can take in the water, so if you drop your camera, it'll float. It's got all those. It's called the newer 50-piece action camera accessories, and that type of thing. So I'll put all the stuff that I was just talking about in the description below. Hit the links. It'll take you to the Amazon. It'll take you to what I bought. And you can buy that, or if you see something else, once you get there, get that. But these are just the things that I use, and they've been working pretty well for me. Anyway, I don't want to make this any longer than I have to. Hopefully I'll get this up by this evening. I'd like to get this out just to answer a few questions. So I did upload a video a little before this that's up, and I've already gotten a couple comments here. So anyway, I appreciate you watching, and again, subscribe if you will. It helps out too. Gives me a little bit of push to make more of these. It's fun for me. But anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you next time, and you guys have a